Coach, as the 2019 regular season starts speeding toward a conclusion, not too many games remain to be played here in Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Oakland Raiders. And this will be a touchback as that's over the end line.
Come on, set. 6 yards. I'm here all day. Double tight, double tight, double tight. Even. 4 down. Even.
Running it with the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year a season ago, Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go, dude. Here I come. Here I come.
The toss out to Barkley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Jacobs from the gun. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, it's Jacobs, and he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Jackson from the shotgun. He's got the rookie, Darius Slayton. Touchdown, Detroit! Darius Slayton, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point safely through, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. Now left side on the swing pass. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, Jackson looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Myles Jack. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick-6 last year, remember it. But it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is, because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs. And they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider 1st. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Jackson. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. So now 2 pick-6s that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
Well, number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Now Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue able to record his 5th sack of the season.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hekker to punt it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Lions will take over. An update from Denver. And it's the Browns out to the early advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Here's Jacobs. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. A big play there for Detroit. 52 yards.
First down, Detroit.
And into the red zone now. And Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Here's Jacobs. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. Jackson looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Yeah.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're
You
down.
don't want to.
No, but rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Mike, check.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact.
Brings up 3rd down.
Here we go. Set. Strong right.
From the gun, Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. 42 yards. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Put that team on the bus.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he is going to lose yardage here. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Grant. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Check three.
They'll run with Barkley. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Operating from the gun, Jackson flushed out right. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
He was brought down by Quentin Jefferson. A 5-yard gain brings up 2nd down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Space to run past the 20. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll get this out in a hurry to Parker. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Mike 59. Mike 59.
From the 16, Jackson. They'll roll him out right. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Set, ready. 70 ending.
And Jackson throwing once more. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get us. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And that's a critical touchdown. I don't want to be too hyperbolic or whatever, but they needed some points on the board before halftime.
They certainly did, and, you know, it's not going to erase everything that happened in the first half. Look, they got outplayed. There's no question about that. But now it gives them a chance to regroup, feel a little bit better about themselves. And how many games have we done where we've seen everything flip when another half begins? And by the way, did you say hyperbolic?
I did. Thank you. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
They're just going to run it here up the middle. He's got room to run past the 20 and all the way up to the 21-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. They've gone to the second quarter now in Denver. The Broncos have taken the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. On the ground, Jacobs will get the third quarter started. Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a third and just a few inches.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. He can run for it, and he will. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Detroit. Lamar Jackson, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Brandon, you and I have called a lot of college football in our day, but on Sundays here in the NFL, doesn't it look a lot like what we used to see on Saturdays when we called those games?
Yeah, option plays just like we saw, and that was a long touchdown to the option. What you taught me, though, defensively, you get your eyes in the wrong place on a play like that, you're in trouble.
What's the term that's in vogue in the NFL? Eye violations. The offense wants you to put your eyes in the wrong spot so that they can appear in others.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. That's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back. Part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That goes for a gain of 31. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Barkley with a carry on 1st down, and he'll get about 4. So 2nd and 6 forthcoming. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 26-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Jackson. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They'll try and run with Harris. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Damian Harris with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2. They're going to run it with Barkley. And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Jackson now from the gun on 3rd down. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Here's Jackson operating from the gun. Got a man, Slayton. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Back now in the East Bay. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? From the gun, Jackson. Dancing to his left. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll bring up 4th down. And the kick by Butker is good. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by James Bradbury. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on second and goal here. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. From the 2 now, second and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs, and he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now, there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another second and goal. Now a carry for Jacobs. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now it's Jackson. This is caught by Williams. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Damian Williams, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. What a play that turns out to be. 36 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Once again, it's Jacobs. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he will have the first down as he's up to his 17-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
First down, Lions.
They'll run on first down. Jacobs. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Here we go. 15 on it. 15 on it. Eat. Man, I got you.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
Here we go, G. Kill. Hey, turn it up.
On 2nd down, Williams. Williams loses the football, and the Raiders pick it up. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. So hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that'll make this a 19-point ball game. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Oh, it's loose, and the Raiders have it. Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes, it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
The first down screen pass, good for 5.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Yannick Ngakoue in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Jackson now. And the pressure gets to him again. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll run for it with Barkley. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position.
Here we go.
Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. The 20. That one goes for 30 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence.
The football comes out. Jacobs lost it, and the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Throwing again. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. So this one fairly well in the bag as they take over with a 1st and goal. And they'll indeed take a knee.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal at the Raiders' 10-yard line.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
Go, go, go.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, it's a nice win to finish off what's been an ugly first half as they move to 2-6. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.